he is the youngest GM in the NFL, and he looks like it. He looks like a teenager.
Yeah, who's this Gen Z yuppie that's on the screen right now? Like, dog.
He like legitimately like it. That might be Tyler. Like straight up. Like ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Time of Possession. Jared Hickman and Ryan Jones are on the call tonight. No Tyler Van Dyke. He is busy with life. That's okay though. And yeah, we have to keep pumping out the content because the NFL season is quickly approaching, which means you guys are going to see a lot of content coming up very soon. Tonight we're going to talk about the AFC South, getting into a division that is just full of Jared's ops, and it's going to be a fun one. But before that, the MLB Trade Deadline was today, as of this recording, Monday, August 3rd. We're going to talk about the biggest winners and losers of the trade deadline, and just talk about, who are the real contenders going forward, I guess. Jared?
Okay.
Obviously, you're very happy about the Scuball trading for the Dodgers, I would imagine. Super fair and balanced baseball. But other than that, we could go on and on about that. Other than that, like, what do you think about the trade deadline?
Okay, well, I'm just going to say this. They're going to be asking Dodger fans, where were you when the Scuball trade went down? I will not lie to you. I will not lie to everybody here. I was mid-dump when the trade went down.
Okay.
But
Wow.
but in public I'll say, oh yeah, I was just in my room playing my PlayStation. Nah, it was at a very unexpected moment. Life comes at you fast, ladies and gentlemen. Let that be a life lesson. I was trying to gather myself like, oh, it happened already. I was expecting it to happen Monday when the trade deadline is, not Saturday night, like, when Luka
Yeah.
Doncic was traded in the middle of the night. It's like,
Yeah, I was asleep when it happened
yep,
on the East Coast.
but
I
you're
was
on the
asleep and I
West
woke
Coast
up.
now. You're on the West.
I literally I know. I woke up and actually Alex woke up before me and she was like, she's like, what does this mean? And she shows me a TikTok of it's like Kevin Durant reacts to Luka Anthony Davis trade, and I'm like, what? This doesn't make sense. I thought I was dreaming still, and then yeah, we all know what happened from there, but it was crazy. Yeah.
I go back and listen to that episode every now and then. I just, it was a genuine, like, good episode because all three of us were happy and enjoying that
Yeah.
trade go down, and it was just like, it was a really good episode. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy. Little side note: the original package that was reported was Emmett Sheehan, Zaire Hope, and Brady Smith. And earlier in the day, I saw an Instagram reel post, whatever. Emmett Sheehan and Tommy Edman were visiting the Chargers practice facility and being interviewed. And apparently, both are big Chargers fans. So after I saw the trade package, I went, oh, so I find out Emmett's a Chargers fan and they immediately ship him off? Okay, I see how it is. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Just get rid of every guy who likes the Chargers on that team, but just keep the guys who like the Rams. Okay, thanks, guys. But no, then they came out and said Emmett was not part of the package, and instead River Ryan is also going instead. So, three prospects. It's 2 months of Scooble, which is, if they traded him during the off season, which I believe they should have, they would have gotten a bigger package than that. I had no doubt Zaire Hope was probably going to be a part of this package. It was either him or Jose DePaula. Both were scratched from the lineup Saturday in their minor league game, so it was like I had a feeling one of them. If both of them went, I wouldn't have been surprised. But hey, we got a lot of top outfield prospects in this minor league system, and we don't got a spot for everybody, unfortunately. I know Mookie moved to shortstop, but you never know. He could just move back to right field whenever. Andy Pages is the center fielder of the future, so that spot's already taken up. and then you can have the corner outfield spots open up once Tucker and Teoscar leave. But
Yeah.
yeah, some people there's mixed opinions on this. Some people are talking it down like, oh, they just traded him for a bag of chips. Da, da, da. We don't know what Brady Smith's gonna be. He's like a 3rd-round pick from a few years ago. He has a high, I believe, strikeouts per 9 from what I saw. So I mean, there's some upside there. Zaire Hope it's not a scrub. He's literally a top prospect in one of the best farm systems in MLB. He's a top 100 prospect too. So he's got high power and pretty good average. He's batting 290 in the minors. If he'll debut in like September, who knows? But I would have a feeling he's close to debuting. And then River Ryan, he's coming back from Tommy John that he had near the end of 24. He's been pitching this year, but very sparingly. But the games he pitched in the big leagues in 24 were good. Like, he wasn't bad. He was good. It's just, that was the first year we won the title, where we had rotation problems because everybody was hurt. So, but there's upside.
I don't. Yeah, I really don't get it from the Tigers' perspective. Like, if you were gonna trade him, you should have done it during the summer, or during the off season, whatever.
Or you wait till like the last minute on Monday to just see if somebody just gives you overpays and whatnot.
And even then, I don't know. I don't really know how you can overpay for a Cy Young winner like
2 times.
I don't understand how you multiple time Cy Young winner. I just don't understand it from the Tigers' perspective, where they had a really crappy start to the season, and they're finally like crawling back over the last month or so. They're 2 games back of. I think they're like 2 games back of the wild card, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Like, they're in the hunt still. And then you're like, all right, let's get rid of our best player. And on top of that, we're also going to trade Casey Mize. And we're just going to kind of blow it up.
Yeah.
Same thing with Baltimore, 2 back in the loss column. And then you go and trade Adley and Taylor Ward. Go Bulldogs.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. Some of these teams, like, to me, those are 2 of the biggest losers of the trade deadline, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how the Tigers are doing business right now. I don't understand it. Like,
I think they're seeing it as it's not a full blow up, or else you would have seen Torres and Baez also get traded, and Kenley Jansen as well. They would have offloaded everybody. I know it was like their 2 best starters, but like, I think it's going to be a shorter, I guess, retooling kind of phase and go a little bit younger. I know losing Skubal sucks, but to be fair, let's remember we were saying they just need to sign him to an extension, and they were lowballing him after winning 2 Cy Youngs and pretty much almost carrying them himself to the ALCS. Like, I'd say last year that was their closest, because in Game 5 they went to extras in the Mariners, and nobody could scratch a run across in extras until the Mariners did. But it's like he was the reason they were there. He was literally carrying them, especially the rotation. And just to lowball him is just disrespectful. And then you go and spend that money on Framber Valdez, who's not having a great year either. And it's like, so, it's just the front office just not. I mean, I get it, not everybody can pay what teams like the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees can pay and whatnot. But this is the guy. This is him.
Yeah.
If you're going to overpay for somebody, just do it for him.
Yeah. Speaking of the Yankees, what do you think about what they did they added Heliot Ramos from the Giants. They added Luis Garcia, was the NL batting average leader, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Or at least
slugging.
I think it's slugging.
Slugging, yeah. I mean, what do you think about what they've done? Do you think they added like enough, like
No.
At the deadline? No, not even close.
No. It'll help, but I'm just going to point to tonight's game. They came back from a 6-0 deficit. Their bullpen immediately blew it. And you didn't get a better option at catcher. You let Adley go to the Red Sox, and I'll talk about that trade in a minute. not getting a backup catcher and being stuck with Austin Wells, not great. And you didn't add any
Didn't,
bull.
didn't the
Yeah,
didn't the Rays trade for somebody too?
Freddie Peralta.
No, I thought they traded for a catcher. Am I wrong?
Um,
I thought they added somebody. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm.
I don't know who the Rays also got aside from Freddie Peralta. Oh, Liam Hicks. Liam Hicks. That's who they got from the
Oh
Marlins.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, they got him in exchange for, I think, a couple minor leaguers, whatnot. But yeah, he was one
Well,
on
the
the
point
market.
is another catcher on the market you miss out on. If you're them. So
Yeah, Logan O'Hoppe got traded to the Rangers. Ryan Jeffers was rumored to be in the trade market, but the Twins are kind of in it, so it was like, you know what? And they bought, but I'll talk about the AL Central in a minute too. Oh my gosh. The Yankees, yeah, they're a loser for me this deadline because Heliot Ramos and Luis Garcia, it'll help once Judge comes back, especially in Bellinger and Stanton, but like, dude, outside of David Bednar, I don't trust a guy coming out of that bullpen. And I know the discourse is fire Aaron Boone. You you can't call for a guy's job if his GM isn't making the moves to help improve slash supplement the team. So I mean, I guess both would have to go, but Cashman has been there long enough, and it's like, dude, you gotta push, you gotta take risks, bro, because that's how you're gonna win. Um, so the Red Sox Adley Rutschman deal, good. I
yeah,
think that's a good get for them. They're not really been getting any production from catcher. They're on a hot streak, you know. They just swept my Dodgers, which is what it is. They're the hottest team right now. We just caught them at a bad time. Um, Good for them. I think he's still injured right now, but man, dude, the package they gave up is a little ridiculous. And I'm like, dude, that the Orioles got more for Adley Rutschman than the Tigers got for Tariq Skubal is all I am going to say.
yeah. It's not.
I
That's
got
ridiculous.
three
Yeah,
top five prospects for Adley Rutschman, and I think you only have like one more year of arbitration with him. So it's like, unless you sign him to an extension, like Craig Breslow, what is you doing? Because, I mean, I like the deal, don't get me wrong, but like, dude. Oh, I mean, that okay, and then I think your Giants might win this trade, getting Marcelo Meyer for a reliever. I don't know how good Eric Miller's been, but like, dude,
yeah,
Marcelo Meyer was one of the top prospects in baseball like a year or two ago, and they
yeah.
trade him for a reliever. Like, I thought he would have gone in the Adley deal, but no. I'm like, dude, do you just like is Meyer that much of a disappointment? Like, it's
Yeah.
too small of a sample size. He's been hurt.
I think that the Giants and the Mets, I think they did exactly what they should have done. Both of those teams.
The Blue Jays
Oh,
kind of
yeah, the
did too.
season.
The Blue Jays kind of did
Yeah,
as well.
the season isn't going how you wanted it to, how you expected to. Get off, big contracts. Get off of the guys that are on 1 year deals. When I woke up, when I saw the Luis Ariz news, I was very disappointed. But then I was like,
You
he's
needed to.
not coming back.
Yeah, you
He's
needed to
not
trade
coming
him.
back. And I'm fine with us blowing up the bullpen. Robbie Ray is solid, but he's gone. Tyler Mahle. Yeah, I'm cool with it. That's the reason the Giants aren't winning anything. Their offense has been fine, honestly. It's the pitching has been the problem. So I'm cool with what they did. Same with the Mets. Like Clay Holmes, Freddie Peralta.
Luke Weaver.
You're getting rid of those guys. Yeah, that sucks. But the season ain't going how you wanted it to, and you need to rebuild and retool the roster to be able to contend with Juan Soto. Like you just and Lindor, and keep that core together and rebuild the retool around him. Like that's just you went for it with Freddie, but you struck out, and that's cool. At least you didn't drag it on for another season, being like this season was not like teams have done that, and at least you know you realize where you're at.
Yeah.
They got what, like 11, 12 prospects or something like that crazy? Like they got like a crazy amount of prospects. So
They got a lot.
yeah,
Um, for the Blue Jays, I did say they did pretty well. I'm a little surprised they went and got Jose Soriano. My
yeah, that
guess,
was weird. You trade Gossman and then you go out and get
yeah,
Soriano. That was very weird.
yeah. The
Like
the article that Mark Feinsand posted, they're still realistically in range of a wild card spot, but I don't know if Soriano. Let me see if he has any control. Let me see. I'm trying to see if he does in the article. If he does. Because obviously Gosman had that big contract, but I think it was coming up soon, so they got off of that. But I think they got some control with Soriano still. Freddie Peralta to the Rays. We talked about. I'm gonna talk about a team that I think is a big winner. This obviously the moves not be super wowing, but I thought were a big winner. The Cleveland Guardians. Dude, some of those moves I'm actually like, okay, like I know the AL Central's bad, but like Foster Griffin from the Nats, who was an All-Star this year, adding to that rotation with Gavin Williams and Tanner Bybee. Now you got like a good solid 3. Oh, and then Parker Messick as well. Like that, 4 guys for a postseason rotation. So that's great. They added Joe Adell from the Angels. And honestly, I'm surprised the Angels are actually selling. Like, good on them. They're actually committing. They didn't go full rebuild.
yes, they sold everybody except the one person they should have. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep, who's
It's
actually
so good.
healthy and having a good season. You know?
Yeah. The
Um,
biggest loser of the trade deadline is Mike Trout.
it seems like every year he's the biggest loser of the trade deadline. Just
Ugh.
let me see how Joe Adell's stats real quick. I mean, average isn't that great, and neither is the OPS, but got some power and whatnot. And his slug's around 400, so I mean, it's okay. The worst, but he gives you a bat, and then Nathaniel Lowe at first base, because I know Rhys Hoskins hasn't been the greatest platoon bat at first, but I thought they did pretty well. I thought they would have just gone reliever like they usually do, just add to a bullpen, get as many arms as possible, but they went and got like 2 bats, so I'm like, okay, um
Yeah.
what's funny is after that freaking Foster Griffin trade, immediately right after, the Twins countered with acquiring Jeff Hoffman from the Blue Jays. And I'm like, yeah, what a counter. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to save so many games for you guys. Because Jeff Hoffman is, if he's going to close, he's one of the worst closers in baseball this year. That's all I will say. I am not wowed. The Twins being buyers is a little, I mean, I know they're a game under 500 and a game back of the Guardians, but I don't believe in them at all. I don't. I don't. I believe
no
it.
one does.
I believe in the White Sox more than I do the Twins. Because
Heck yeah.
the Twins got the White Sox got nothing to lose. If they don't make the playoffs this year, oh well. It's already an
We're still
improvement.
like, exactly. We're still like, it was a great year.
Yeah.
Like,
and the White
doesn't
Sox
matter.
bought too. They got Luis Castillo from the Mariners. They got they got somebody else. They got Brazaban from the Rays. And I don't know if they got anybody else after that, but
I mean, the Castillo move is great.
yeah,
I think.
it helps the rotation and whatnot. And plus, he was kind of getting unhappy there. The rotation was kind of clogged already with Wu, Kirby, Gilbert,
Yeah, they're yeah.
Miller. It was just like he was running out of room there. So, and
Yeah.
plus, he wasn't pitching well either. Really, like the last.
Yeah, I thought the
times.
Cubs. I would consider the Cubs a big winner. Getting Clay Holmes, getting Kevin Gossman. They needed arms. They got arms. Like they did what they're supposed to do. So yeah.
Yeah,
Like
the Cubs did all right, added some arms and whatnot. That is very true. Especially, they were in on Scooble as well, but they immediately pivoted, like other teams. I'm gonna list a big loser this trade deadline. The Milwaukee Brewers. Your best move
yeah,
is Dustin
they
May.
didn't do it. They didn't do enough. They did stuff. They didn't do enough though.
I'm gonna tell you this: if
Like
anybody could have beaten a Dodgers package for Tariq Skubal, it was them, because they have one of the best farm systems, and it's like I get it. Your thing is being We bring up guys in our system, and we play great, sound, fundamental ball. But, like, dude, at some point, you need to push your chips to the middle of the table. You don't have a World Series, and it is very possible the team that swept you in the NLCS is going to face you there again, and guess what? The guy you could have gone and gotten to be the difference maker to help you get to the World Series you're probably going to be facing him.
Can you imagine a rotation of Skubal, Mizorowski, and Kyle Harrison?
Well, Kyle Harrison, I don't know what's wrong with his arm or
He's
something.
on IL. He's on IL right now, but he is literally having the best year of his career.
And let's not Logan Henderson has been great, solid.
Dude, it's so sad.
It's frustrating to me because like I'm a Dodgers fan and whatnot, but like as a baseball fan, these small markets, like, dude, even for 1 year, we're not saying you have to do it every year like San Diego that just burns their farm system every year at the trade deadline because AJ Preller cannot help himself.
No.
Like, just,
dude,
this would have been it.
I don't get them.
It, like the Brewers, this would have been it. You get Skubal, even if it's just for a year. Just for this year. You could have won the NL, maybe.
And if they kept Freddie for the rotation too, oh my god, it'd be disgusting. They could have won the whole thing, dude. Yep. Oh my god.
Yep. It sucks to see.
Disgusting rotation.
A team that also didn't do too much. They just kind of like filled in with depth. The Braves, they got Tyler Mahle from the Giants, Brent Suter from the Angels, but like, I mean, their offense I felt like didn't need like too much, but man, it's just like, yeah, they should have done more. The Phillies, I mean, getting a rise is good. I saw something that they're having Bryce Harper go back to the outfield, and I'm like, okay.
Can he move? Can he move like that still?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
I was gonna say he's getting up there, man. I don't know.
And it's not like Bryce is bad at first base either. Like, Bryce has been good at first base.
No, he's fine. Yeah, he's good. Yeah. Good.
So we're gonna find out. I think they got some arms in the bullpen too. I forget who they got. I think because like there was just so many moves, it's hard to keep track of them all.
Yeah, there's a lot.
They did get some bullpen arms. They were in the mix for Skubal too, though I doubt they would have been able to beat a package for like that the Dodgers and the Brewers would have come up with. But yeah, the one that, in my opinion, would have beaten the Dodgers for a package would have been the Brewers, and they just chose not to. I guess the last team I want to talk about for the deadline is the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was texting with my Padres buddy. We're both Chargers fans. Good buddy of mine. He's about to welcome a baby boy, his second child. So congratulations to my buddy Nick Frazier, being a dad of 2 soon. We're texting, and he's not really following just because like all the. He doesn't like what the Dodgers are doing. He wants a salary. He's a fan who wants a salary cap and whatnot. Also would like a floor as well. I'm not gonna tell him he's wrong. He's entitled to his own opinion. But I was telling him like, yeah, the Padres offensively haven't been great. I know their rotation wasn't great either, which is why they made the 2 ads that they did. But like the D-backs have passed them in the standings. And it's like that NL wildcard spot's getting crowded with the emergence of Pittsburgh being good, St. Louis in there, Chicago, and then there's also Atlanta and Philly fighting and whatnot. But Mason Miller and Morahone were their 2 best trade assets. There was a rejected trade earlier that would have sent Morahone to the Yankees for Will Warren. I think the Padres rejected it on their end. They said no deal. And instead they got Robbie Ray, which is like, okay. But then at the buzzer beater, they got Casey Mize from the Tigers. But as much as I respect a small market trying to go for it, their window closed when they lost in the DS in 24 to the Dodgers, in my opinion. It's because AJ Preller has burnt that farm system to an absolute crisp, trading like every trade piece away except Ethan Salas. Somehow he's just still there. He's the untouchable prospect that won't be moved, and it's just like, I'm gonna be honest, dude. Even if the Padres make it, like with how anemic their offense is and inconsistent, they're gonna have to try winning games that are like low scoring. Like they're gonna have to do what my Los Angeles Kings did in this past hockey season, and that's hopefully they win 1-0 or 2-1. If it gets high scoring, it's not happening. It needs to be low scoring enough to where they can deploy Morahone and Miller and just hope for the best. Score enough to where you can hand it off to them, but I just don't think that's happening because in the postseason, you're not gonna face teams that aren't gonna score a lot of runs. You're just not. Whether it's the Dodgers, the Brewers, the Phillies, the Braves, like you're not gonna win those games 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 every game. You're just not. And Mason Miller can't pitch every game either. So this was a year. I'm not saying they should have traded Mason Miller. I mean, I wouldn't have doubted them. They could have gotten a huge haul for him, but at some point, dude, like AJ Preller gotta stop.
You gotta take your medicine.
And he relapsed. He relapsed, bro.
Yeah, he
couldn't help himself. Yeah. And plus, they're stuck with the Xander Bogaerts contract and then the Manny Machado one. I mean, obviously, Manny hasn't been as bad as Bogaerts has this tenure, but like Manny's getting older, and so is Xander. And it's just like you are stuck with those contracts right now, especially the Xander one. And if you're trying to move off that, I don't see how you're going to get a team to take one, especially if there is a salary cap. Nobody's going to take that because that contract will be grandfathered in and you'll just be stuck with it. So,
yeah, I think in a way they're probably operating as if, like, I feel like a lot of teams at the deadline operated this way. They were like, there's a chance there's not a season next year.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying the Brewers should have just went all in for Skubal. They should have just done that.
Yeah, the Brewers should have. I think the Padres are taking that approach, but you're like, you're just not that. You're not that guy, pal. You know, like you never have been. Like I don't know. Like they should have won it in 24 and they didn't. Like that's
they had the Dodgers. They had my Dodgers against the wall in a chokehold, and they let them slip out like a snake. Basically, I'm not saying my team's a snake, but like literally that's just
no. You
RKO, RKO out of nowhere, like Randy Orton because he's a Viper and whatnot. But yeah, they you took the boot off the hunter's neck or whatever the saying is, but yeah. But that's the MLB trade deadline, winners and losers. God, just again as a baseball fan, I am just disappointed in the Brewers. Just like I feel for you because I know you love the Brewers too, like as like your second team.
Yeah, those are my Brewers, man. Yeah, they're just doing what they do.
It's gonna suck if in the NLCS or NLDS, game 1 and 2 against you'll have Mizorowski, but game 2 you will have Dustin May lined up against probably Tariq Skubal, a guy you should have gotten, and it's just like, And they could not figure out, Glasnow and Snell are on the way back, so the Dodgers are going to have options. They're going to have options at their fourth starter because you know who 1 and 2 are. 3 is probably going to be Ohtani if he's good to go. And whatnot. If not, I'll take all hitter Ohtani any year. 2024 Ohtani that was all hitter was the greatest thing I've ever seen. But anyway, yeah, that's baseball talk. We're not going to go over the July recap because I think once we get to the end of August is when we're going to start focusing on the standings and being like, okay, wild
Yeah, who's
card.
gonna make these
Yeah.
wild cards? Yeah.
Like hell, I'll just give an update right now for AL wild cards. It is New York, Boston, and Cleveland, and NL it is the Cubs, the Diamondbacks, and the Phillies. Right now,
It's gonna stay that way.
yeah. Unfortunately, the Astros have retaken the West. Oh, they had a trade deadline too. They got Dalton Varsho from the Blue Jays. So interesting. They're buying. The Rangers didn't do much of anything except sell off Josh Smith, and I think that was it. They didn't really do anything. So, and then my Mariners got like Taylor Ward and whatnot, but you know,
Taylor Ward the goat.
yep, yep. So the AL West is about as confusing. I'd argue the AL Central improved over the AL West. You can argue, but yeah. All right, we should get right into the AFC South.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the AFC South. A division that, for the longest time is kind of clowned on by being one of the worst divisions in football. Very inconsistent, a lot of bottom feeders. You have your Titans, your Jaguars for a long time. Basically, if Peyton Manning wasn't on the Colts, they weren't any good. Texans, ruined David Carr's career.
Yep.
Now, you got a lot of, sleeper contenders, I would say, in this division. So let's dive into a team that a lot of people think could possibly improve and make the postseason in 2026. I don't know about that. A little rich for my blood, but let's jump into the Tennessee Titans 2025 season recap. Jared, the memes.
Oh, well, obviously most of these had to be about Will Levis.
What else? Yeah.
I mean, first off, the one against the Bears where he's on his knee. Man fell to his knees and just, for some reason, just has his lower abdomen, like, pointed toward where the action's happening. I don't know why, but, Will... Yeah. That's you, dog. That's how you roll. Keep on doing what you're doing. And then apparently there's not 32 quarterbacks in this league better than him, but he's right because there's 64 quarterbacks. 64 quarterbacks way better than Will Levis. Yeah. And then of course the last one there, when Titans say tighten up, they really mean tighten up.
Classic.
It's going to be a long Sunday.
Classic. Yeah, it usually is with this team, but maybe we can see some improvements. They didn't improve last season. They stayed pretty consistent because the last 2 years they have been 3-14 both years. So no improvement there. And obviously that's good for fourth in the AFC South. 1-8 at home, 2-6 on the road, and when you are that bad, you are going to miss the playoffs, my friend. I don't know about you, and you could disagree with me if you want to throw in your own season storyline. I just think, are we going to see Cam Ward kind of take that next step? Like, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs or anything, but can we see growth from Cam Ward? That's my question.
Well, is he going to keep it a buck, or are they not going to suck?
I think both could actually happen. I think they could suck, but he could also keep it a buck. Sure. All right, the rankings.
My man.
Yeah. So for those of you that are new to the channel and tuning in for the first time, I will explain this at the beginning of every episode, or when we get to this point in the episode. We use EPA here. This is on a per play basis. How well a team is, how good a team is passing the ball, running the football, then defending the pass and defending the run, and then total points scored is the metric I like to use. Offensively, they were 31st throwing the football. Not great. A little bit of Cam Ward, a little bit of Calvin Ridley drops, right?
A little bit of Brian Callahan play calling.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Running the football, they were not very good. Shout out to Tony Pollard and that offensive line. Not great. Not great. And, of course, when you're that bad, you're not going to score a lot of points. They are 30th in points scored. The only good thing about them is they can defend the run at 18th. Pretty mid. But maybe they're just that good because nobody was running on them because they could just throw on them because they were 29th against the pass. So,
I will
and then
say the
28th.
one thing they did have going for them, their defensive line was pretty solid.
It's Jeffrey Simmons.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one thing they got going. The guy who we saw on the very first slide. Um, let's go to the staff now. Whole new staff. When you are 3-14 back-to-back years, you're gonna have a whole new staff. So, Robert Saleh gets another chance to be a head coach here. He was not good with the Jets last year. He spent the season with the San Francisco 49ers, returning there to be their defensive coordinator. He was 20-36 as the Jets head coach. He never really had a quarterback, so you gotta kind of give him benefit of the doubt. He's a good vibes guy. A lot of his players love him, and he can schematically scheme up the defense. I still have no evidence that he's a really good head coach, though. And some guys are just coordinators. We'll see what Robert Saleh is.
Yeah, well, it's either the Jets or it was just the Jets or.
The problem is now he's on the Titans. So
yeah.
I guess you can make the argument. Vrabel made them work. We'll see if he can. The scheme is going to be 4-3 under. With wide 9, they play a lot of quarters coverage, a lot of cover 3. You see it across the National Football League. Very aggressive defense by Robert Saleh. They don't blitz a whole lot, and that is because he trusts his defensive line to make plays and get around guys. When you have Jeffrey Simmons, that's going to be, it's going to be great. You should be able to do that. We'll see if they can do that on the edge this year by, when we get that point. Brian Daboll is the OC here. In 2020, he was the assistant coach of the year. In 2022, he was the coach of the year. We gave him the award because we were like, you made the playoffs with Daniel Jones? Shout out to you, man. Here's an award. He then proceeded to go 20-40 and tied a game with the Jets.
Hey, man, my team is under one of those wins, so put some respect on that freaking name.
I will not. I refuse.
I hated that game. I hated it, dog.
The defensive coordinator is Gus Bradley.
Dude, how does Gus keep getting these DC jobs, man?
I don't know, man. But he was not a very good head coach with Jacksonville, many are not good with Jacksonville. From 2013 to 2016, he went 14-48. He was then the Chargers defensive coordinator for 3 years.
He was fine until he just refused to adjust.
Yeah, and then he was the Raiders defensive coordinator 1 year. And then he was the Colts defensive coordinator for a couple years. And now he is here with Tennessee. So, you could look at it this one or two ways. Either he's good at what he does, and that's why he keeps getting jobs. He also may be getting fired from a lot of jobs. So, I don't really know what that means. But let's be honest here. I think Robert Saleh is probably just going to take care of the defense. So, does having Gus Bradley on your staff really matter all that much? I don't know. The special teams coordinator is John Fassel. This is year 2 for him. I did not put who because he's actually one of the few special teams coordinators you probably know and recognize. Most recently, he was with the Cowboys for a very long time. He also coached with the Raiders and the St. Louis Rams back with the Jeff Fisher days. So, very respected around the league. He's a really good special teams coach. And the GM, Mike Borgonzi, I believe I'm saying that right. Look, he has a long resume, and he's been with the Chiefs basically for the whole dynasty, so probably knows what he's doing. He was the assistant GM, and he worked his way up to director of football operations and player personnel, and he was the assistant director of pro scouting. He held a lot of titles with Kansas City throughout all those years or whatever. So even I'm going to assume
even the years when they were bad,
he probably knows.
Starting out those years when they weren't great, 2009 to those first early years when they were in the gutter.
But he's stuck with them. He's been there the whole time, and he held all of those roles at one point or another. I didn't put him in order, and I'm sure he worked his way up, and he has now worked his way up to being a GM. So shout out to that guy. Let's go to the off-season losses because there are a lot of them. There's a lot of them.
There were a lot of them.
And yeah, there trust me, there really was. And usually that's what's going to happen with bad teams. New regime comes in and they get rid of all the players. And you could see all the players they got rid of. Headlining them, Chig Okonkwo. He went over to Washington, tight end here for a long time, pretty solid. Lloyd Cushenberry, the center, went to Buffalo. Pretty solid player as well. Arden Key goes over to the Colts in division. We'll talk about him later. Sebastian Joseph Day goes to Pittsburgh. Pair him up with Cam Hayward. Yep. L'Jarius Sneed goes back to Kansas City. He wasn't really good with Tennessee, but like with Kansas City, he was really good. So,
of course,
I'm assuming he's just going to get back there. And then one of the only punters in the NFL you actually know, Johnny Hecker.
Oh yeah,
gets paid and goes to Minnesota. So, yeah, a lot of losses. I mean, there's more over there. You know, you see Kyer Elam, Van Jefferson's gone. You know, there's a lot of names here that you'll recognize, but kind of highlighted the ones that actually mattered. When you have a lot of losses, you have to have a lot of additions. So here we go. All of them are on the screen. I do think that, even though I didn't highlight it, paying 2 years, $10 million for Mitch Trubisky is something. I'm just saying, I think it's something that is a decent amount of money, and you pry him away from Buffalo, where he was forever. He was on Buffalo for a long time.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a little insurance. You know, you signed Hendon Hooker too, couple quarterbacks, getting them in the room, like I think that's something. The big fish that they got though, Wan'Dale Robinson, they paid him, and Daniel Bellinger. Those guys both followed Daboll over here.
I didn't know Bellinger left too.
Yeah, as well as their new starting center, Austin Schlottman. Didn't pay him a whole lot, but again, follows Daboll over here. So you are going to see Daboll's fingerprints all over this offense. And I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, because I don't really know how good those offenses were in New York, you know, the last couple of years. I don't know. So, yeah.
I will say, you know, seeing Andre James on there, I'm like, man, he was our backup center. If only he got some playing time. So, you know.
Was he good? I don't know anything about
We don't know, because it was Bradley Bozeman every snap.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see he probably won't get playing time here either. Now, one thing you'll notice about this slide is that it stops at offensive tackle. That is because there was a second slide and I couldn't fit it all. Oh my God. Let's go to the defensive additions now. Robert Saleh spent some freaking money on this defense, man. He's like, I'm coming in, I'm doing it my way. Surely that, you know, will work this time and not like it did with the Jets. The biggest addition for them, John Franklin Myers coming over from Denver, had a great year with them last year, and he gets paid. Shout out to Broncos legend John Franklin Myers. Other names you might recognize, Solomon Thomas, not a lot of money, but it's a big name. Jermaine Johnson, again, not a lot of money. It's a big name. I think he's actually on the last year of his rookie deal, potentially. I think that might be that 1 year. $13 million. They picked up his option, so that should be highlighted in yellow. It is not. That's okay. Alontae Taylor comes over from New Orleans. That's a lot of money. One of my guys, when he was drafted, I really liked Alontae Taylor. Cordell Flott also comes over from the Giants. Probably a Brian Daboll pickup right there. He gets a lot of money. They're trying to improve this defense and hoping that Daboll is the key to unlocking Cam Ward. So I see the vision. Not sure if I agree with it, but I see the vision. One of the biggest problems with this team was lack of weapons. So let's go to the draft. And you can see that they added arguably the best receiver in the draft, Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. And also, again, they couldn't rush the passer last year. You get Keldrick Folk in here. Hopefully that helps. And then Anthony Hill, second-round linebacker out of Texas. He's probably going to be the starting linebacker like immediately. We'll see. He probably is. Other than that, it's hard with the draft. I don't really know much about the other guys, but those are kind of the names that stood out. And you'll see that, yeah, all those guys should be contributors in year one.
I remember that Carnell Tate selection at 4. It surprised me a little bit, but then I'm like, you know what? It makes sense
Yeah.
because Ward had like nobody.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley not good at football. Let's go to the offense now. We just talked about Carnell Tate. You have him with Calvin Ridley and Wan'Dale Robinson as your receiving core. It's actually pretty solid. It should be much improved.
Much bigger improvements.
Yeah. And then the offensive line, you add Schlotman and Volson in there. You did make a couple of draft picks, so maybe those guys can slot in. But again, Peter Skoronski's pretty fine. J.C. Latham is, he should be a good player. They drafted him, developed him. Dan Moore is the big question at left tackle. He's a massive human being, and I like big men. But the problem is, he just isn't that good. So we'll have to see if he can improve and hold up at left tackle. It should be an improved offensive line. I don't know how good it's going to be. At tight end, Gunnar Helm, I guess, is going to be the starter. But they did pay Daniel Bellinger, so I think Daniel Bellinger might overtake him. It's not a really great tight end room. It doesn't really move me. It doesn't inspire me,
I don't think they're going to be moving a lot of defensive lines in the run game either, so.
Yeah, I don't really know much about Gunnar Helm. I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe he's a good blocking tight end. I have no clue.
Yeah, who knows? I was just throwing that out there just to add to the bit. So
yeah, I know. No, I know. At running back, Tony Pollard is still here, and Tajay Spears.
Oh, that's right.
Solid 1-2. I think that they just need improvement upon the offensive line to get going. And then Cam Ward is going to be your starting quarterback. Year 2 for him. We'll see if he can show improvements. If he does not, there is a good chance that he faces a lot of pressure going into next year. And that could be potentially his final year with this team if he does not show some growth and improvement this year. Like I said, they did sign Mitch Trubisky. It's not nothing. He is going to be the backup. I don't know if Will Levis is going to make this team. Despite all the memes, I don't know if he's going to make this team. He might not, because they also signed Hendon Hooker. So we'll see.
Let's make that 65 quarterbacks better than 64.
Yep. All right, the defense. We talked about John Franklin Meyer coming over. You pair him with Jeffrey Simmons, and then you have Jermaine Johnson on the edge. Keldrick Falk is there. Solomon Thomas. Jordan Elliott comes over from San Francisco. Robert Saleh is doing what he does best, and he is investing in that front seven on that defensive line, right? Anthony Hill probably going to be the starting middle linebacker. Shout out to Cody Barton, who is on this team for some reason. Don't understand. Broncos legend, Cody Barton. The secondary is cool. Alontae Taylor, Cordell Flott come in here. Amani Hooker's still here. It's all right, They need to improve. That's why they went out and got those corners. It's a solid defense, I don't know how great. I think they could be mid this year, and that's pretty good. They're going to be good against the run, for sure. It's just about if they could rush the passer, because that secondary is still going to have trouble. I get going out, and they invested. They spent the money, so we'll see. But yeah, I think it's an okay defense. I think, and then Saleh is going to coach them up. I think that they'll be fine.
Yeah, and then after the games, they can go down Broadway and just have a fun time. They're in Nashville after all, so
yeah.
And they're getting that new stadium soon. They are getting that new stadium.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it doesn't make sense how they're not like a premier destination. Whatever. Special teams now. Can you feel the aura from Joey Sly? My goodness, he looks like a WWE character, doesn't he? I mean, he just has so much aura.
I honestly, I'm leaning AEW just because I can see Joey Sly is all elite. I can just see the thing right now.
Yeah. I mean, you just feel the aura. So shout out to him. Tommy Townsend is over here from Houston. We talked about that. And The odds are improving. Their division odds, they're down, but the win total is up from what it was. The conference and the Super Bowl odds are up. I mean, they're still bad, but they're up. But 6.5 wins, that's a lot for a Tennessee Titans team who has won 3 the last 2 years. Or 6 in the last 2 years, 3 in each, The schedule is pretty favorable as well. Like they got some breaks, You get to play the Jets, that's cool.
They do get a middle bye week, which is pretty good.
Yeah, you get the Giants, who I don't believe in. You get the Browns. You get the Bengals in Week 8. By that time, Joe Burrow should probably be hurt, and the defense is going to be terrible, right? Like,
just Joe Burrow catching strays already, dude.
Look, I'm just a truth teller. I really like Burrow. I know you're probably not the biggest fan, but I really like Burrow.
I mean, it sucks he's hurt, but like, dude, I'm the Bengals. It's just the Bengals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the defense is going to be bad, so
their owner sucks too. So.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time finding, over 6.5 wins. 7 wins is a lot for this team, but that doesn't mean it's not an improvement. You're only going to have to win 4 games for it to be an improvement on last year. That's a tough one. Like, You get the Raiders, that's cool, but Fernando should be starting by then. So I don't know. It's the great unknown. You do get some tough defenses.
I definitely think they can take one from Houston if C.J. Stroud continues the trajectory he's on.
Yeah, but that Houston defense is also just disgusting, right? So like,
yeah, well, it wasn't.
That's the thing.
It didn't matter in New England. That's all I'll say. If C.J. Stroud giving the ball up, it's like then you're playing against 2 quarterbacks if you're the Houston defense. So.
Yeah. The defenses they're gonna face though are tough. Like you get the Eagles, the Ravens,
Houston twice. Cleveland's defense will be scrappy or like
Myles Garrett's not on that team anymore. I'm not scared.
But they're young.
Whatever.
They're young though. They're young. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Detroit maybe. Maybe.
Either way,
the Pittsburgh defensive line will be a problem, especially if TJ Watt's there. So.
Yeah, if he's healthy, yeah.
Other than that, yeah.
I don't know. It's not the toughest schedule, but I'm still fine. I find it hard to imagine this team winning 7 games.
I'm trying to go through right now and see who they can beat.
I'm taking the under. If you want to be ballsy and go,
I'll go under, but I would say 5-6 wins.
Yeah. I agree.
I like I said, I think they'll beat the Jets. They'll beat the Browns. I think they can beat the Giants. I'm positive they can take one from Houston just because of C.J. Stroud turning the ball over and over. I think they can beat the Raiders 100%. The Steelers too. If Aaron Rodgers,
I think they could beat the Steelers.
Do anything offensively.
I think they could.
It's the Colts. It's just, I don't know. I feel like they could take one from the Colts, but like, I don't know.
I think that the Colts roster is very good.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, we're getting them next. But
right now,
Jacksonville. I mean, it's tough because their division's just a little confusing. It's just hard. We'll never know. We'll see it when it plays out. But I think 5-6. They won't be a 3-win team again.
I agree. All right, let's get to the Indianapolis Colts. Jared, the meme.
Okay, obviously, shout out to Chargers GOAT Phillip Rivers for coming back out of retirement, almost knocking off the Super Bowl champions, like they say, ladies and gentlemen, on any given Sunday. And then, of course, you got Cam Bynum and the Colts mascot doing the the belly dance thing in the end zone, which is cool. Yeah. And then, of course, so you're probably wondering what the anime one is. Shout out to this artist I saw on Instagram, Jacoja. They're pretty solid animation and reel that I saw from the anime Freyrin, Beyond Journey's End. So if you remember, ladies and gentlemen, owner Carly Ursay-Gordon was always on the sideline during Colts games with a clipboard. Well, you see that season storyline at the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. Is everyone gonna get fired? Well, Shane Stark Steichen is gonna be sweating bullets if they don't make the playoffs because they traded 2 first-round picks to get Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
So it's like, buddy, if this season don't work out, so I just have a feeling Carly Fern Ursay Gordon is going to be breathing down Shane's neck.
Yeah, she might be the head coach by the end of the season.
Yes, that's why I put the hat on her. That's why I put the hat.
Yeah.
Plus, she was always wearing a hat on the sideline, so I was like, okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about the meddling owner on the side. Like, can you imagine if Jerry Jones wore a headset? Like, I just don't think it's ever a good idea for the owner to get involved in.
No.
I just don't.
That's like...
And I know that people thought it was cool, but, like, I don't know. It just screams dysfunction to me.
That's like in it's like in baseball when the GM or the owner already has a set plan for like who's gonna come into the game to pitch or to bat, and it ends up costing you the game. And it's like you hire the manager / head coach to make these decisions. If it fails, it's them. But if it's you're the one causing this, then yes, it's like, why are you hiring a head coach if they're just a puppet, you know?
Yeah.
Just a yes man.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out the Browns, because, 8-9 was the exact same record you got the last season as well.
Weren't they like 8-2? Like at some point?
Yes.
Oh my God, they lost 7 straight.
I don't remember the exact number, but there was a point in the season where we were having legitimate conversations. Are the Colts a real Super Bowl contender? And I don't remember. I feel like even when they beat Denver on that BS penalty.
Oh, the leverage. I was trying to find a leverage meme, but I went, nah, I think I'll save that for Denver.
I think even then I'm like, this is a fake team. I do not believe these guys are real. And they were not. And maybe they would have been if Daniel Jones didn't get hurt. I don't know, man. It's Daniel Jones. I've seen him play football before.
Speaking of Daniel Jones, there's a meme I couldn't put on here just because of the kind of format. It's Daniel Jones realizing the Colts are going all in on him, and it's Alex the Lion, like, with the eyes, like, bulging, like...
Yeah.
He's like...
It's crazy, man.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah. 6-3 at home, 2-6 on the road. They missed the playoffs after a great start and poor into the season. The season storyline is everyone going to get fired. Is Shane Steichen going to be out of a job? Is Chris Ballard going to be out of a job? You'll learn why I'm saying that very soon. Let's go to the rankings.
Oh,
I mean, this looks like a Super Bowl contender, doesn't it?
At least should have been a playoff team. At least.
And you look at the passing, they're just outside the top 10. That is one spot away from mean green like the other ones. I think, switching to Anthony Richardson probably hurts that rating a little bit, don't you think? I mean...
And Riley Leonard? Well, I mean, then again,
Riley Leonard.
He didn't play that much because they had to call Phillip.
And they called Phillip Rivers, yep. Offensively, they were 11th in passing. That is a combination of like 4 different quarterbacks over the season. The best one obviously being Daniel Jones, and then Phillip Rivers being actually pretty solid.
Yeah, he was slinging it. Yeah. Didn't amount to any wins, but man, was it fun to watch.
It was really fun to watch. They were 3rd in rushing. Shout out Jonathan Taylor in the offensive line. They were 8th in points scored. Really good. Defensively, not as good, but still, like, they weren't terrible in any one category. They were 19th in passing, 9th against the run, pretty solid front 7,
yep.
And then 21st in points allowed. So that says 21st.
I just noticed that.
I can't change it now. Whatever. Oh well. I don't care. Moving on to the staff. Shane Steichen is the head coach here. He is known as a quarterback whisperer. He is 25-26 with the Colts. Absolutely mid. He has worked with Justin Herbert when Justin Herbert won Rookie of the
Yeah.
Year. He
I'm
worked with
still
Jalen
mad
Hurts.
we didn't bring him back after that.
Yeah.
We-
Uh,
Joe
he also
Lombardi.
worked with.
What's the next guy?
Shout out to Joe Lombardi, man. I mean, I think he's jobless now. I don't know where he's at. He ain't in Denver, so shout out. Thank God. And then Jalen Hurts. And then yeah, I know. And then Jalen Hurts. Obviously he worked with him on the Super Bowl Eagle teams. I don't think he was there when the Eagles won the Super Bowl as the OC. I think that was or was he?
Yeah.
No. He was on
Shane
he
Steichen
was
was not the OC when they won the Super
he
Bowl
was on the team that lost
to the Chiefs.
He was the OC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, great seasons from Jalen Hurts, and he rose to the occasion and played well in the Super Bowl, and Steichen was the play caller, so shout out to him. The offensive coordinator is Jim Bob Cooter. Yes, that is a real name. And no, he does not call plays. He is most famous for working with Peyton Manning for a lot of his career, both in Indianapolis and in Denver. He has a funny name. That's all I got on him. He doesn't call the plays, so why are you here, buddy? The biggest addition to the staff is Lou Anarumo, the former Bengals defensive coordinator, nicknamed the Mad Scientist, known for all of his hybrid defenses, nickel packages, varied coverages. He really adjusts to what he has talent-wise defensively, and that really showed on that Bengals Super Bowl running team that they eventually lost to the Rams, but he was kind of the unsung hero. Burrow got a lot of credit, Jamar Chase got a lot of credit, Joe Mixon got a lot of credit, and Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator, who kind of scrapped together this group, made them a mid defense with all no talent whatsoever. He got kicked to the curb, and Indianapolis is kind of hoping that he can recapture some of that magic for them. Brian Mason is the special teams coordinator. Say it with me now. Who? I mean, yeah. Former Notre Dame special teams coach. That's all I got. All I could find on the guy. He's dude, I'm telling you. You know how hard it is to find information on special teams coaches? It does not exist. I'm convinced none of these people are real. I don't think they exist. I look and I can't find anything. General manager is Chris Ballard. 70-78 as the GM of the Colts. This is his second head coach, I believe, Shane Steichen. He was the 2018 Executive of the Year. You could argue it's all been downhill from there. He is in the final year of his contract, which is why I'm saying, is everyone just going to get fired? And if you don't get your contract renewed, is that really being fired, or is that just being not extended, let go? I don't really know.
We mutually parted ways.
Yeah, so there's a good chance that just if these guys don't make the playoffs, this whole staff is just going to be gone. And Lou Anarumo might just be on another team next year, even, just... I don't know, man. It's a weird situation, and I don't know if the owner is helping all that much either. But let's get to the offseason losses.
Ooh. Well, obviously...
Boy, oh boy, it was a lot. It's screaming desperate to me. Shout out to Phillip Rivers. He is back to the farm.
I forgot they traded Michael Pittman.
Yeah. We'll get to the Steelers, but DK Michael Pittman, that's not nothing.
That's a big wide receiver duo right there. That's a tall one.
Yeah. A lot of jump balls from A-Rod. Braden Smith goes over to Houston. Big loss on the offensive line. Zaire Franklin was traded to Green Bay. And just a lot of names that have been on this roster for quite a while. Quiddy Pay, didn't highlight him, but he goes to Las Vegas.
Samson
Amir Abdullah is going to get reps in Jacksonville. They don't even have a running back. You'll see it very soon.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Kenny Moore, been here for a long time. Just a lot of names gone, man. Let's go to the additions. There weren't that many.
Ooh.
Just honestly, just a lot of extensions given out for this team. They
Okay.
just kind of re-signed a lot of their dudes. Um, Michael Clemens was the big one from the Jets. Arden Key also comes over from the Titans. Derek Nottie, it's a name, like we recognize the name. He's not that great. And then shout out to Jerry
Tillery.
Chargers legend Jerry Tillery. I mean, he's back, baby.
Oh my
He's
god. He's
such a
so
Colt,
ass, bro.
He's so great. He's awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The rest of the additions, Colby Woody was traded from Green Bay in that Zaire Franklin trade. He's on the last year of his rookie deal. And then Davis Gaither, that's a name we know. Cam Taylor Britt, that's a name we know. And then Mr. Simone Biles himself, Jonathan Owens. So, the draft class didn't have a first-round pick. That's Sauce Gardner. So,
Yeah.
I guess that maybe you grade this on a curve. I don't know. Like, C.J. Allen's going to be the starting linebacker for this team. Some people thought he would be a first-round pick. Drops to the second, and there he is. And then A.J. Halsey, I think I'm saying that name right. The safety out of LSU, going to be in contention for the starting safety job. You might see Jalen Farmer from Kentucky as well getting in the mix at guard, and just a whole bunch of people. Deion Burks, the 7th round wide receiver out of Oklahoma. It's very sleeper potential. Michael Pittman replacement. We'll see. I don't know. Like 7th round pick. I'm not gonna make no guarantees with that, but. When you look at the depth chart of the wide receivers, go ahead. If Alec Pierce gets hurt again, and it's just Josh Downs, they don't got really much of anything. So, I guess you can be like, Tyler Warren is here, we're fine. And then Jonathan Taylor, and then you just don't have a receiving core, and you just play with those two guys. That's cool. But they need Alec Pierce to be healthy. They paid him, and he just can't. Alec Pierce has to be able to run the whole route tree. He can't just be used as a deep threat, which is what he was used last year as. So he needs to be able to run the whole route tree and be the guy that they paid him to be. I think with Michael Pittman being gone, the wide receiving core is not as good, obviously, but I guess I get it. You have to pay Daniel Jones and bring him back. What they sign him to? 2 years, $88 million or something like that.
Something. He's coming off
an
Achilles or an ACL.
I don't remember, honestly.
I want to say it's an ACL because I feel like if it's an Achilles, he's not playing for some of this year.
I don't know. He's not highlighted in red there like Alec Pierce is, so I'm assuming he's good to go. But yeah, the offensive line it's always solid. It's going to be probably pretty solid. Shout out to Quentin Nelson, who started his career immediately as one of the best guards in the National Football League and just has not been talked about ever since, even though he's still awesome. So, shout out to Quentin Nelson. Defensively, the roster is what it is. Sauce Gardner's here now, though, so that's cool. Javarius Ward is still here. Shout out. C.J. Allen's going to start at linebacker. Akeem Davis Gaither is going to be the other linebacker. Is that a UCLA Bruin I see? Latu,
yep.
Right? If I'm not mistaken. That's one of Tyler's guys. You pair him with Arden Key, DeForest Buckner, and you rotate some Michael Clemens in there. You got a pretty solid front seven, I would say. And then the secondary is where you kind of get into a little bit of trouble. That's why you bring in a couple of dudes, rookies. You draft them, bring in Cam Taylor Britt as well, Jonathan Owens. You got, I don't know. It's a serviceable defense. I just don't know how good Sauce Gardner actually is. I don't know. I've always thought that he was somewhat overrated. Cool nickname, but he's not the best corner in football, and he never has been. So I don't really, I don't know, man. It's okay. Special teams, Rigoberto Sanchez, Spencer Schrader. What a cool picture, right? I'm just trying to find pictures of all of the kickers and punters and give them aura, and just that's the last we're going to talk about them all season. So shout out to them.
Is he force choking somebody?
I don't know what he's doing. He might be aiming. I don't know. I thought it was a I thought it was a cool picture. Um, go to the odds now, my friend.
7.5.
And
Man, less than last year.
7.5. 7.5 is the exact same as last year. The divisional odds though went down. They're third now, but their odds to win the Super Bowl in conference it goes up, which is I guess an improvement. You know, I guess in their head they're probably not winning the division, but if Daniel Jones can catch lightning in a bottle like Sam Darnold did, anything is possible. The schedule is what it is. Late bye, love it. But they have the ninth easiest schedule. But that opening, man, they could be 0-3.
God.
They could be 0-3 to start going into Washington. Just saying. Lamar Jackson,
I will say
Patrick Mahomes, and then the Houston defense. Oh boy. And then Jaden Daniels. And then TJ Watt. I'm just saying. That Achilles or ACL or whatever it is for Daniel Jones better be healthy. Because, my goodness.
That is a terrible start. Sunday night in Kansas City, you're boned. Oh, Washington is a overseas game.
We will be awake for it. Or I will. I will be waking up.
I'm not waking up at 6 to watch wherever they're at. Like, oh man, I've never been able to sit up and watch a game from Europe, unfortunately, just because it's so early. If we were on the East Coast, maybe. But, you know.
Yeah, last year I did do that, yeah.
But, yeah,
I don't know, man.
Let's see. They got about, not counting the overseas game, they've got about 2 primetimes, one against KC and the other against Houston on Thursday night.
Oh, that's going to be a disgusting 10-7 game. It's just going to be
They
gross.
got a late bye. They do have a late bye, which is nice. Their end of the season, aside from Philly, doesn't look too bad. But ending against Jacksonville, yeah.
It depends on what Bengals team you get, right? If you get the good one or the bad one. It depends on if Jacksonville was legit last year or not. You know, like if that is that a real thing that's going to continue. I don't know. I'm tempted to say over and just have them go 8-9 again for a third straight year. Like that's kind of what I'm feeling. I don't know. I think there's going to be weeks that this offense is really good. But there's also, I think there's going to be weeks where Daniel Jones reverts back to being Daniel Jones, you know?
Well, that offensive line was, I mean, it's one of the best in the NFL, the Colts. So, I mean, they gave him time and, you know, he did with what he could and they got him to a great start. And then obviously when he got hurt, everything kind of went downhill from there. But obviously, if Lou Anarumo can change that defense around, make it great, you know, good, even great, like, who knows? I mean, I think 0-3 is definitely a big possibility for them. The Texans did start 0-3 last year and finished the season 12-5. So I will say that, but the Texans also, we know, had a legit elite defense. So the Colts, the defense is an unknown, really. Like, are they going to be average? Are they going to be good? Or are they going to be giving up a lot of points? We'll see. They have the 9th easiest schedule. I see that. So it definitely gets easy after those first 3 games. I'll just say that.
Yeah. My only thing is if you start 0-3, I don't believe in this team to, like,
turn it around,
fully bounce back from that. Like, I just, like, the reason Houston was able to do it is because of their coach and their defense. And I just don't know if I believe in the Colts that way. So, like, say you go 0-3, like, that overseas game against Jaden Daniels is a must-win.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to, like, would I rather have Jaden Daniels or Daniel Jones in a must-win game? It's not even a question, you know? So that's a tough one for me, man.
I think I think I'll go 8-9 again, dude. Or hell, I'll go one better. I'll go 9-8. Just.
I think I have to say under. Like, I don't know, man. Your quarterback's coming off an injury. You traded away your number one receiver. I don't know. You didn't really like Sauce Gardner's had health issues too. That's why he missed a lot of last season after you traded for him. I don't know. It just feels like this regime is going to get fired and that's going to be it, you know?
Yeah.
That's just I don't know. I don't want to be Mr. Negative, but sometimes I have to. Let's go to the Texans now. Jared the memes.
All right, we'll start with the two gag ones before we get to the one about me. Yeah, the Texans O-line might look scary from a distance, but when you get up close, you realize they are a bunch of paperweights. You just push them aside, and you get to C.J. Stroud. So, and there he is. He's probably throwing an interception, probably because
Isn't that Flight Reacts? That's Flight Reacts.
Yeah, that's Flight.
That's crazy. Straight out the flight team stand up. Yep. No, okay, go ahead.
And there was another meme. CJ Stroud's haircut. Yeah, he has lost all aura. CJ, I don't think you're getting that contract, buddy. All aura gone after the first season, your rookie season. And then, of course, we've got canon event number 2 for Jared, the thwomping of Justin Herbert and his name being dragged through the mud when he threw 4 interceptions in the game. We sucked that game. We're not going to... Justin did suck, but the team, we did suck together. We lose as a team. We win as a team. It was a team loss, not an individual one. And yes, I was depressed for a week. Can you blame me? No, you can't. Because that's just... This is football, and I can't have happiness, except when it's hate watching in a Super Bowl. Then I win. I guess I win there, but, you know.
Yeah. Oh man, I hope the canon events are over for you. Probably not though.
I've had 3 straight. Well, not 3 straight years, but yeah, 3 straight playoff games.
Yeah. Okay. The record for the Texans, they went 12-5. That was a 2-game improvement. Pretty good. They were second though in the AFC South. You win 12 games, not guaranteed to win the division. 7-2 at home, 5-3 on the road, and obviously they're going to make the playoffs with that record. And they go in the wild card round and pretty much dominate Pittsburgh, 30-6, and what could have been Aaron Rodgers' last game.
Hey,
it was not though.
They had to play 2 quarterbacks that game. They had to play Aaron Rodgers and their own. Just
yes. Speaking of playing their own, the New England Patriots beat them 28-16.
Yeah, that time they lost to 2 quarterbacks.
Yes. That was the divisional round. Then we obviously know that New England goes on to beat Denver, with who did not have a quarterback, and that was the end of the Texans season. So you kind of alluded to it already, my friend. But is this a make or break year for C.J. Stroud? He has not been good since his rookie year.
Yep.
They have been winning. So and then we also are always like, the offensive line is terrible. You said it yourself. They're paperweights. They are SpongeBob. So which is it? Or is it all of the above? I don't know. Maybe this season we'll finally get an answer. I don't know.
I don't want to the score down there you see in the Chargers game. I think 2 of those were pick sixes, y'all. Dead ass. I know there was definitely 1 pick 6 in there. There might have been 2. And if not, It was a short field. A lot of short fields. So that's all I will say.
Yeah. The rankings now. They were 14th in passing, so C.J. Stroud doing...
Oh, no, he was fine. And also Davis Mills in there, too.
Yeah. 13th in points, but they could not run the football for nothing. I mean, they had so much hope, man. They signed Joe Mixon, and they signed Nick Chubb, and they're like, oh, yeah, these guys are the answer, and neither of them are on the team now. So that shows you how well that went. And it was like a Woody Marks.
Yep, Woody Marks.
It just wasn't that good, man. Defensively, though, arguably the best defense in the NFL. They're the best pass defense, and they allowed the second least points. They were 11th against the run, though. But that's just, I don't think it really matters. This defense was amazing. It just was. It was freaking awesome. Led by Will Anderson. You could see him at the bottom right there. So go to the staff now. D'Amico Ryans is in his 4th year now as the Texans head coach. He's 32-19. He's 3-3 in his postseason career here. He was the assistant coach of the year with San Francisco when he coached their defense. And then in 2023, he was the coach of the year because none of us thought they were going to be good. And they were good because he's a great coach. Offensive coordinator is Nick Caley. Don't know how to say his name. Okay, cool. It's year 2 for him, and he's a former Rams assistant coach, assistant offensive coordinator, assistant offensive whatever. It's always a McVay guy. It's the only system that works in the NFL. It's either McVay or Shanahan. Pick one. That's what everybody's running. Defensively, Matt Burke actually calls the plays. He actually calls the plays, and he runs a 4-2-5 nickel defense, very low blitz rate, and a lot of high zone.
Doesn't need to blitz. He doesn't need to.
No, he doesn't need to because of who he has along that defensive line. The linebacking core is sound, and that secondary is elite. It's a great situation, and I see no reason why the defense should not continue to be great. You'll see it when you come to the roster. The special teams coordinator is Frank Ross. I actually found interesting stuff about this guy. Coach cuts. He cuts players' hair, and he does free haircuts for the community. So shout out to him. I don't think this was not the only image, but I thought it was the.
Okay, I was like that. I was like, there's no way.
No. This is the one time I actually found something interesting on a special teams coach. I'm keeping it in.
Okay.
And this was not the only photo I could find of Nick Caserio, but I thought, why would they let him do this? Why is this the official team picture that has been uploaded for this guy? What is this? He looks terrifying.
He looked like he inhaled like 10 cases of smelling salts before taking that freaking picture.
He's locked in, dude. But it's just kind of unsettling in a way. Overall, as a general manager, he is 39-45. A lot of losing before D'Amico Ryans came around, which is why you see the D'Amico Ryans equals Tom Brady ? Bill Belichick did not win a single thing without Brady, and Nick Caserio did not win a single thing without D'Amico Ryans. Is D'Amico Ryans just Tom Brady to his Bill Belichick? Do you get the connection I'm putting in? I don't know. Sure. Not the best connection.
Well, I mean,
it makes sense.
I mean, like, Bill Belichick already won a Super Bowl, as a coach with the Giants. He wasn't the head coach, but he was the, defensive coordinator.
I guess. I mean, he had Lawrence Taylor on his team. I mean, what do we like? Anyways, Nick Caserio won 6 Super Bowls in New England, so shout out to that, I guess. He was in the front office for him. He wasn't a player. The offseason losses, boy, there were a lot of them. But what you like to see is that not a lot of them, were signed to great teams, and not a lot of them made big money on other teams. So, even though you see, Titus Howard got traded to Cleveland, Danico Autry and Derek Barnett, those guys are both backup edge rushers. They're just, depth pieces, and they did enough to supplement and replace them. So I just don't think they lost a whole lot this offseason. Christian Harris to Atlanta is something. We talked about him in the previous episode. But, I don't know. I don't think they lost a whole lot, Jared. And it's one of the reasons, I think this team could really actually contend this year if C.J. Stroud is okay.
Here's another season storyline. Will they make their first AFC championship in franchise history?
Potentially. I think they could. So remember when we talked about the bad run game?
Yeah.
And how the running backs suck?
Yeah.
Well, go to the next slide. Because they went out and got Knuckles. And I mean, I just think he kind of fits the culture here. He fit Detroit, obviously. But defense first. We're Houston. We're physical. You go out and get one of the most physical running backs in the National Football League in David Montgomery. I think it's a really good fit, and I hope that he succeeds, and he's going to be the starter here, I think. I would imagine. I don't think it's going to be Woody Marks, so...
Let me just say,
and they spend a lot of...
Knuckles on his own doesn't... All he does is just protect the Master Emerald, so, like... I mean, equate to that what you want, Houston fans.
He's not going to fumble the football.
Yeah. He's fumbled a couple times. With Detroit.
Yeah. They kind of overhauled the offensive line, too.
They did.
So they go out and get Braden Smith and Wyatt Teller. I should have them highlighted, but they are not. I should have them highlighted, though. And then you get Logan Hall as well on the defensive line. They get Marte Mapu in a trade from New England. That's that 4-year, $5.5 million.
He's in the last year, I believe, when I did the research.
Yeah,
he's in the last year.
Yeah, he's in the last year. So, look, they're trying to improve the offensive line for C.J. Stroud and improve the run game for C.J. Stroud, which is, look, if you're going to be running the McVay or the Shanahan offense, which is what every team in the NFL is doing, you have to be able to run the football effectively and protect your quarterback and get linemen that can move, and they're trying to do that. So maybe they'll actually have a good offense and Stroud will be good. I don't know. Let's go to the defense, the draft class now. Getting ahead of myself. Kalen Rutledge, a guard out of Georgia Tech, one of the more surprise picks of the first round when we were watching it. Kind of a surprise there, but addressing a need. They need help on the offensive line, and man, a lot of offensive linemen went in this draft early, and they're just, they took this guy ahead of guys like Emmanuel Prognom, and there was another guard that went that we liked. I don't remember.
Off the top of my head, I'd have to pull up the whole draft.
Maybe it was just Prognom, the one that we really liked him out of Oregon. But yeah, and then Caden McDonald, who was my number one defensive tackle. Of course, Houston gets him. Why wouldn't they? They're going to build on that defensive line and be elite. Mm-hmm. Other than that, not really many notable draft picks that I know of, at least. I don't know who Marlon Klein is. I don't really watch Michigan football that much, even though I lived in Michigan. So maybe I'll learn, though. Maybe we'll learn. To the draft class now. Or not to the draft class. I'm all over the place. To the offense. Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel. Tank Dell is still here. I really hope he's healthy at some point. I loved Tank Dell his rookie year. He was so good. Obviously, we talked about them overhauling the offensive line. Wyatt Teller is here. Kalen Rutledge is probably going to start at center, even though he was drafted as a guard. Braden Smith. Honestly, if they drafted him to play center, that makes a whole lot more sense. Why they drafted him in the first round, that makes sense. I didn't even know he was projected to be a center, so that's good to know. Dalton Schultz is still here, and they brought in Foster Moreau, so that's a pretty solid 1-2 punch at tight end. And then David Montgomery, Woody Marks. It should be an improved running back room. David Montgomery is awesome. And then obviously we know C.J. Stroud's the starting quarterback. And Davis Mills is a more than capable backup. Very solid backup quarterback in the National Football League. So you look at this offense, like just on paper, it should be a good offense. It should be. You go to the defense, and you're like, my goodness, this is beautiful. This is just immaculate. It is full of it's just awesome. It's just full of big men, and I like big men. So Will Anderson, Sheldon Rankins, Caden McDonald at the defensive tackle spots, Tommy Tagoy, I can't do Tommy Togai.
I'll just say Togai.
I don't know, and it don't matter. He's just good. Okay. Logan Hall as well, dude. They really just went in on the defensive line and just they lost those guys that they're in their rotation, and they're like, all right, well, we're just gonna go out and get more guys for the rotation. They're probably gonna be better. Danielle Hunter is still here. They brought him back on a 1-year deal. The linebacking core is still awesome. Aziz Al-Shahir is, the main guy. And then Henry Tua.
I think so. It's like Tua
Yeah,
Toa
he's
or something like that.
yeah, he's really good too. The secondary is awesome, and then you add Reed Blankenship in a trade to this. I mean, my goodness, just it's absolutely disgusting. Jalen Petrie, Derek Stingley, like it's
Kamari
just,
Lassiter.
dude, Kamari Lassiter, man, it's so good. Like the names on this defense are alone. Like you add Reed Blankenship to the starting lineup last season, and then your rotation, where you could eventually have Caden McDonald as a rookie take over for Sheldon Rankins, like that's insane. Again, special teams now, my friend. Aura, just straight aura from Kaimi Fairbairn, one of the best kickers in the National Football League. He's just. It is crazy how much kickers like when they kick, like their bodies, like just like
How they're
they really
leaning.
put their back. They put their back into it. Um, yeah, shout out to Fairbairn. And then the odds,
9.5.
they stay the same. They stay the same at 9.5. That was the same as last year. Obviously, they killed the over. And their odds for the division are the same. They were supposed to get first in the division last year. They did not, but they are projected to get first in the division this year as well. So Vegas doesn't really believe in Jacksonville all that much. But their Super Bowl and conference odds, those have both gone up. So they're 6th for the AFC and tied 9th for the Super Bowl. But the schedule is pretty tough. 26th in the National Football League. I just think with this defense, they're going to be in every single game. And if you get any production offensively, they're going to be one of the better teams in the NFL, I think. So I know they are your op, and they scarred you for life. But to me, this is a pretty easy over on 9.5 wins.
Man, I really don't like it's bye week and then it's my team, but I need my lick back, and they barely escaped us last year, so I think we're playing them in the Navy jerseys again, so definite lick back game. I'll go with 10 or 11 wins.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would go 11 wins, and that's just that. Honestly, that's being conservative. I really do think this team could contend for a Super Bowl if the offense can finally get something together, especially with how good that defense is, man. A lot of teams I would expect to be primetime games that aren't. Like they play Buffalo, they play Cincinnati, they play Dallas. None of those games are primetime. In fact, they don't get a primetime game until
Jacksonville.
week 11.
That's the Jacksonville one's
Well, even
overseas,
then,
but yeah.
I don't consider it. That's a home game for Jacksonville, and I don't even consider it a primetime game. I know it's a standalone game, but like I'm talking about a night game. They play Thursday night against the Colts.
Sunday at Pittsburgh, they're just gonna kill Aaron Rodgers again.
Sunday at Pittsburgh, that is a disgusting 13-10 ball game. Let me tell you. A lot of field goals in that one.
A lot of interceptions
Game for the old,
and like from
a
CJ
game
Stroud
for the
too.
old heads. They're gonna want to run the football and punt on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. They're gonna just want to run it down throats and stuff.
Punt on 3rd and 1.
That's the kind of ball game we're getting to. We're playing the field position game, Jared. You have to understand.
Why are you starting to sound like Chris Collinsworth?
I was trying to do John Gruden a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Chris Collins probably better. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm gonna take the over. I think I'm probably gonna pick them to win the division. I'm just straight up gonna be honest with you right now, because we'll get into Jacksonville right now, and I think what I'm gonna say about them is gonna make you a little happy. Let's get to Jacksonville. Duval, explain the memes.
All right, we'll obviously do the one about me last. Obviously, when they have expectations, oh no, the lights get too bright, like a deer in headlights. They were teams picked them to go to the championship game because Duval, ladies and gentlemen, and they lost to Josh Allen. Josh Allen in the wild card game is like undefeated. I'm sorry. Except the one time against the Texans and Deshaun Watson and whatnot. But anyway, Josh Allen wildcard game. Unstoppable. Superman. Whatnot. Bottom one. Yep, Liam Cohen. That's after he says Duval, and just, he gets that look in his eyes like, we're going to make this team something special.
To be fair, when he says Duval, I get that look in my eyes too.
Yep. And then, of course, the top meme, Good Morning Duval! Because
oh, man.
Anytime I see the Jaguars on the Chargers schedule, I hear everything.
Al Michaels.
Al Michaels when he called that game, and then the everything that followed after. Yes, this is my true. My downfall began in Duval. Is the start.
This is Uncle Ben dying. This is Uncle Ben dying. That's what this is.
Yes.
This is the canon event.
Yeah. Yeah, not fun. Not a fun week, and I had to go into work the next day, and I was not happy. A lot of I'm so sorry texts, and it was a dark night for me. I will admit, like it literally was a dark night. Like I couldn't. I was not well. So yes, Uncle Ben. This could be a song and an album from A Day to Remember. My downfall began in Duval. So
kind of bars. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good. Pretty good. You know what's awesome about what happened after that picture is that they went like 3-14 the next year. So I'm sure that made you happy.
Well, my team also had a terrible season under Brandon Staley because we decided to keep him, and so.
Yeah, this game broke both of your teams for a year, and then the Jags went 3-14 I got that mixed up. 13-4 last year.
Yeah,
that's an 11-game improvement.
They beat the Chiefs and then took off, like, pretty much.
Yep. This won them the AFC South. 7-2 at home, 6-2 on the road. Very, very good. They made the playoffs, but unfortunately, they lost to the wild card king, Josh Allen, in a game where Trevor Lawrence, I don't know if this went to overtime or whatever, but Trevor Lawrence did throw a game-ending. He did throw a game-ending interception when they were in a hurry-up offense trying to come back and win the game. I'm sure that, made you a little happy. Season storyline. To me, it's a simple question. Was last season real? Just wasn't real, new head coach, new guys running the franchise. Trent Baalke's gone. You get James Gladstone in here. We're going to talk about James Gladstone. My goodness, we're going to talk about him. That's a big reason why I'm a little lower on them this year. Was it real? Was Trevor Lawrence actually, he was like an MVP candidate, all that stuff. Like, was this real? Let's go to the rankings and find out. They surprised me defensively. I didn't think they were going to be that good. I thought they were kind of carried offensively, but no, it was a little bit of the opposite. They were 12th in both passing and rushing offense, and then 6th in points scored. So a very balanced attack from these guys, right? You have Travis Etienne, or A-Chain now, Travis A-Chain, if I'm not mistaken, and then a Jacoby Myers addition, if I'm not mistaken, on this roster as well. And Brian Thomas Jr. did not have a good year, but they were still really good, And then defensively, they were 3rd against the pass, 12th against the run, and they were allowed the 8th least points. So Josh Allen did his thing. Josh Hines Allen, that is. And I had to put them in the throwback jerseys. They're just better. They just are. All right, the staff. We know about Mr. Duval himself, Liam Cohen. He was 13-4 in the one season as Jacksonville head coach. He was the offensive coordinator with the Rams and Tampa Bay. It's always the McVay tree. And he had the greatest press conference introduction of all time. Just so legit. Just the Duval, chef kiss. The offensive coordinator is Grant Udinsky. He does not call plays, but he's only like 30 years old or something like that. He will be a head coach in the NFL one day. He had an interview with the Browns this offseason. They almost hired him. Like, he's a very young guy, and people speak highly of him. Same thing with Anthony Campanelli. Kind of runs a blend of Vic Fangio and Brian Flores' styles of defense, two very different styles of defense, but when you combine them, my goodness, no wonder the defensive numbers were what they were. And then the special teams coach, you might recognize this guy, Heath Farwell. This is year 5 as the special teams coach. He is a former Super Bowl champion with the Seattle Seahawks, the Legion of Boom team. He was the special teams captain with them, and he is now the special teams coach for the Jags. So shout out to him. That 2013 team absolutely ruined my life. So yeah, when they beat the crap out of Broncos. So it's
awesome. Okay.
It's great.
You got one 2 years later. So
yeah. It just, I don't know. I love that 2013 team way more. Like the offense was so good. It's before I really appreciated defense, And but let's stay on topic. The general manager is James Gladstone. He is the youngest GM in the NFL, and he looks like it. He looks like a teenager.
Yeah, who's this Gen Z yuppie that's on the screen right now? Like, dog.
He legitimately it. That might be Tyler. Straight up, Tyler might be running the Jaguars secretly.
Oh my!
We wouldn't know. Anyway, Gladstone has been heavily criticized for his drafts.
Oh, this year especially. Yeah, I remember they were criticized a lot for this draft.
Yes.
Tyler, you're a terrible drafter.
I mean, yeah, obviously. Obviously, the year 1 with the Travis Hunter thing didn't really work out all that well. And then this past draft, well, we'll get to it in a second. It was not the best. Off-season losses. The big one was Travis Etienne, I keep saying it, Travis Achane going to the Saints, and Devin Lloyd going to the Panthers. We talked about him in the previous episode. So you lose your captain defensively. That's pretty big. Your man in the middle. You lose basically all the production you had in the run game. Obviously, Bryshaw Tootin, I think is what his name is. I don't remember. I remember Tootin was their other running back. He was okay. I think he's going to be the starter here. That's kind of crazy. They also traded Mason Smith to Atlanta. Greg Newsome goes to the Giants. Emmanuel Ogba's on the street still, but he's a name, we recognize. And then shout out to Broncos legend, Tim Patrick, going to the Jets. Missed that guy. Go to the offseason additions.
What?
No, this is not a joke.
What?
This is not a joke. I'm not kidding. Everybody else was signed to an extension. That is where all their money went, signing guys to extensions. Chris Rodriguez is probably going to be your starting running back.
Oh, my God.
You let Travis Achane walk out the door and didn't have a plan, Jacksonville, and it's not looking good. Just wait till you see this running back depth chart.
I don't want to.
They really think, I'm just saying, they think they can do the San Francisco 49ers thing where even if Christian McCaffrey is not healthy, they can stick whatever running back in there and get really good production, And I don't know if you can do that because you're not Kyle Shanahan.
I was going to say, Liam Cohen, you're not Kyle Shanahan.
You're just not. And then on the defensive line, they traded for Rook or Horo. I can't say. I just can't do it. But yeah, kind of an underwhelming offseason. But now let's get to the draft. Surely it gets better.
Hey,
oh no!
Why is
you drafted a tight end that is in red? What?
What does that mean? Is he hurt?
Well, no. Let's find out. So, I'm just gonna read to you this guy's college stats. Basically, the GM said that we prioritized athletic traits in this draft. Just athletic traits. I'm gonna pull up his sports reference page. As a senior at Texas A&M, he had a grand total of 19 catches for 198 yards.
I'll say it once, I say it again. Tyler, you suck at drafting.
Now, you may ask, did he only play 2 games his senior year? No, he played the entire season. So, uh, yeah, he's super athletic, guys, to the tune of 19 catches over 13 games.
You see that
So,
image right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is just one of 19 catches.
that's literally one of 19 catches. Yeah. There was not a lot of pictures I could have found. A lot of it was just him in his combine uniform because there's no pictures of him in the game doing anything.
You might have been better off using a combine photo.
I think it would. You know what? You're probably right. It would have been way funnier.
Yeah.
To me, their entire draft was a lot of reaches. The one bright spot was Emmanuel Pregnon. We thought he could potentially be a first-round pick, and you get him in the third round.
Late in the third round. It was late.
Yeah, so that's great. I don't know why he slid that much.
I don't know either. I couldn't find anything. I don't know if it was injury or something, but
I don't know. But yeah, the draft class isn't good, man. And you didn't add anybody in the offseason. Now we go to the roster. You can go ahead and go to offense, and let's see what it looks like. Brian Thomas Jr. is here. There were trade rumors for him because of the bad season, but he was so good as a rookie. So I don't know what is the real thing. You know what I mean? I hope that we get old Brian Thomas Jr. back.
yeah.
Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington are here. I don't know what's going on with Travis Hunter. Is he going to be a receiver? Is he going to be a corner? I keep getting mixed things on that. I don't know. Their starting left tackle is an injury risk in Cole Van Lanen. Not great. And Walker Little is just not good at football. So I don't think Emmanuel Pregnon is going to slot in as the starting left tackle as a rookie when he was drafted as a guard either. I don't know. The offensive line doesn't really inspire me, but it was not the greatest last year, and they did really, really good, and they showed improvements, and they had, they were productive. So, I don't know. Brenton Strange is a really good tight end. So why'd you draft two rookies? They also spent another draft pick on Tanner Cazzoli. Does not make sense to me. Trevor Lawrence is great. But your running back room is Bashal Tutin and Chris Rodriguez. I don't know who LaQuint Allen is. I don't know who that is. If you showed me a lineup.
I'll tell you that.
If you showed me.
I'll tell you this, Ryan.
Go ahead.
It is quite mid, is what I'll tell you.
I'm not. You're right. Yes. I don't know, man. A part of me is man, this offense was so good last year. They were so good. And I want to just kind of believe in it again. But then I just look at the team and I look what they did this offseason and I'm like, no. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe the defense is better. I don't know. Trevon Walker is here. Eric Armstead is here. Go to the defense, please.
Yep.
Trevon Walker, Eric Armstead, Josh Allen, Devon Hamilton. It's a pretty good, solid front four. Ventrell Miller, Foysaid Olokun. I think I'm saying it right. Okay, linebacking core. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. They didn't do anything to replace Devin Lloyd either. They're just projecting that depth pieces are going to step up. And to me, that's always a little bit risky because my answer would be, why weren't they playing last year? You know what I mean? That's just kind of my, I don't know. I feel like you should have gone out and got somebody at linebacker or drafted somebody at linebacker, but instead you drafted a tight end who had 198 yards in college. I don't know. Travis Hunter is supposed to be a starter now at corner. He's supposed to just fully transition to corner, and that is exciting because he should have just been there in the first place. He's all-time corner prospect, and he should have just stayed at corner. I do believe that if he just plays cornerback this full year and doesn't do anything offensively, he'll be one of the best corners in the NFL. I just think that. Now we'll see, but that's just what I think, So, I don't know, man. The defensive line's really good, and that will carry you very far. So, special teams, the record holder for the longest field goal in NFL history, Mr. Cam Little, is here. 67 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, anyways, we're done here. Yeah, we're done here. Let's just go to the... Shut up. Just go to the odds. Just go to the odds. Surprisingly, at 8.5, like, Vegas doesn't think that these guys were real. And I'm kind of with you. Their odds, they're second to win the division, which is an improvement on last year's odds to win the division. 9th to win the conference and 17th to win the Super Bowl. Jacksonville gets the first place schedule, and it is still the 15th hardest schedule in the league. So I'm going to say over, but I don't think they're as good as last year, and I think they're getting second in the division. You're going to go to Denver week 2 and get slaughtered, buddy.
Yeah, they are. They're not going to I don't think they're going to do what they did last year against you guys in Denver. So
no, not this year. Not this year. No. And then New England. That's a toughie, Back-to-back international games. NFL's trying to stack the deck for the Jaguars. Don't like that.
Well, they're going to stay overseas then if it's back-to-back. They're going to stay overseas.
Yep.
So
they're going to win. They are going to win that Houston game. I fully expect them to win that Houston game.
Yeah, because they'll be fully acclimated to the time zone then and whatnot.
Yes, they will be acclimated and be rested and be ready.
So, yeah. They could win the Philly game too, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
They definitely ain't going to be as good as last year, though. I think they're a 9-10 win team.
But out the bye, that's a pretty nice stretch out the bye. Like, if you just kind of move past Baltimore, like, you go to Baltimore, that's tough. But, like, Colts, Titans, Giants, Titans, like, that should be 4 wins right there. Like, you should beat the Titans twice, you should beat the Colts, and you should beat the Giants. Coin flip on the Ravens because they have a rookie head coach. And then, as much as we both like Jesse Minter, he's still a rookie head coach. You never know. Then, week 13, you go to Chicago, which it should be a fun one.
Oh, that's going to be in December. It's going to be cold.
Yeah, but Caleb and Trevor, like, that just, kind of like those... I mean, Trevor's not young anymore, but, like, they're both two, like, hyped-up prospects, Like, Trevor was supposed to be that guy, and now that guy's Caleb, and it should be an interesting one. They do get kind of a gift of a schedule for the last 3 weeks. At Dallas. I think Dallas should be better this year, but still defensively, Dallas isn't going to be that good, right? And then you get Washington, who we just don't know. They could bounce back with Jane Daniels, but we just don't know. And then the Colts. We talked about the Colts. I don't believe in them, so I would take the over, but just by a little bit.
Yeah, same.
I think you'll win 10. I think you'll win 10 games, and you will be fighting for a wild card spot. And there's no guarantee you get in.
Nope.
Because I'm gonna be honest. When we get to the AFC West, it's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be a bloodbath in the AFC West, and there's probably gonna be 3 teams in that division making the playoffs.
If not, it'll just be the same 2 from last year. Preferably.
I might pick the Chiefs to win it just to jinx them. But yeah, okay, before we wrap up, can you give me your division order, and then I will give you mine as well.
All right, first place, I'm picking Houston. Second place will be Jacksonville. Now it's third and fourth. It's like, whose season? Like, do I think the Colts are going to have a nightmare season? I don't know. But I also kind of believe in Tennessee's improvement.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just going to flip 1 and 2 from last year. Houston wins the division, Jacksonville second, Indy third, and Tennessee fourth.
Yeah, I think I'm... look, obviously this is all subject to change before the season, but I think I agree with you on that order. I would go Houston winning and then Jacksonville fighting for a wild card spot, potential wild card spot. Um, and then like the Colts are probably getting winning 7 or 8 games, and then the Titans are winning 5 or 6. Like that's kind of where I'm at. Maybe somebody can sell me on the Titans hype like they did the Saints hype before the season. You know what I mean? Um, but honestly, since that episode, I kind of I regret it so much, and I want to go back to believing in Baker because in my head I'm like, Baker Mayfield's motivated again, and we all know what that means. When Baker's motivated and he has a chip on his shoulder, he's the best Baker.
It's true.
He's gonna, like it's all subject to change. But let's just say I'm leaning back to Tampa Bay now. He just keeps drawing me back in. Like, I love the guy.
Disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, our picks for the division don't lock in until after we do our awards predictions episode. That's when it locks in for good, when we do our final predictions. This is just like, for starters, like our rough draft of decisions. So that way there's time if there's injuries in preseason and whatnot. So, which there have been.
Yeah. Oh my God, the Niners, man. Oh my God.
Wait till we get to them. Oh man.
Oh, it's bad, man. It's bad.
I'm afraid they're just gonna be like the Cardinals. They're just caught in a war between Seattle and the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cannon fodder.
I don't know, man. Yeah. Well, that's. I think that's it, man. I think we're good to wrap up. I don't know if
real quick question. This is about our Lakers. How do you feel about Luka inviting the roster out for a mini camp out at Slovenia?
I didn't even see that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
He has invited the entire Lakers roster out to Slovenia for a whole like mini camp. They're gonna go like either do workouts, and do like some like golfing and like sightseeing and whatnot, like a whole bonding like trip with the team.
That's cool. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm a 76ers fan next year. I'll be real, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of just want to follow Braun right now. We are going to knowing now that LeBron was willing to sign for 2 years, $8 million. If we just kept the relationship good, he would have been on our team again. Playing like can you imagine how bad the relationship had to be to where he did not want to play on the same team as his son anymore? How sour that got with Pelinka and Jeannie Buss. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, like, I think the Lakers are really going to regret kind of just ruining that relationship with LeBron and not bringing him back for the minimum. Because you look at the holes on our roster. What's the one thing we need right now? LeBron James. Like, that. I think we could contend in the West if we had LeBron, but we don't know. So.
Obviously, we talked about the Lakers offseason, but that was in our lost episode that got corrupted. So when we get closer to the season, we will revisit that talk.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yes, that will do it for this episode. MLB Trade Deadline reaction. AFC South, just the two of us today. Hopefully we got Tyler back for, I believe our next one will be the NFC East. We're going to go through the Easts next.
I'm trying to think. Yes.
Okay.
I think. It won't be the West.
Yeah.
So.
Because I'm just saying, like, we get through kind of like we save the better divisions for last.
Yeah. I want to save the North. Yeah. You spitting. Yeah. Good job.
Okay. So yeah, next two episodes will be the NFC East followed by the AFC East, and then obviously the North, and we conclude with the West. So 2 down, 6 to go, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, guys, Ryan, Jared, and Tyler, who is absent, he's like up here above me.
He's out here. He's out there. He's actually the GM of the Jaguars.
Yes,
so.
yes. He's trying to work on his draft analysis, and like he needs to ask
Yeah.
Ryan some tips. Like watch film with him and whatnot. But yeah. Anyway, guys, we will see you in the next one.